very good afternoon. Welcome back to Les Sables d'Olonne on the west coast of France. It's day number 27 on the racecourse, and it's Friday. It's also nearly the weekend, and it's St Nicholas Day for those of you who have been good boys and girls out on the racecourse. We do know there's been one or two skippers who have been celebrating St Nicholas Day, but meantime, it's the Southern Ocean, and it's tough out there, as Johan Richaume reminds us.
Hello à tous. Alors, on vient de passer une nuit bien agitée. Là, on est dans le plus fort de la mer. Là, il y a 8 à 9 mètres de creux. J'ai vu passer un train de houle tout à l'heure. Il m'a un peu fait halluciner la longueur et la profondeur qu'il avait. Et bon, ça se passe pas trop mal. 30 nœuds de vent, là, ça a un peu descendu. Il y a des claques à 40 cette nuit.
Meantime, Charlie Dallon, the race leader, is having a blinder of a race. He's outrunning this low-pressure system we've been on for a few days. He's sailing a really perfectly timed, perfectly modulated section just now, and he's advancing over Sebastian Seaman all the time. Otherwise, it's all about risk management. It's all about setting the cursor for safety and seamanship on the Southern Ocean at the moment. Today, Friday, we do tend to focus on these shows on the sustainability and science and education. And today, therefore, I'm very pleased to welcome with us today Thierry Raynaud, who is from the French IFREMER, which is the French Oceanographic Service, who is with us online from Brest. And here in the studio, super privileged to have Franck Mercier from CLS. Gentlemen, welcome. I'm going to start with you, Thierry. Tell us in a few words just a little bit about your work with the Vendée Globe.
Yeah, well, in fact, I'm working at IFREMER. I'm a research engineer in a physical lab. So we are really dealing with measurements at sea and in the ocean. And we are very lucky this time because we have equipment on board of those great boats. So we have some Argo float deployment. And so we have also underway measurements on a couple of boats. And it's really fascinating.
We'll come back to you in a few minutes. In the meantime, Franck, you're in charge of the Vendée Globe project for CLS.
Yes, that's right. I'm the project manager of this service, Iceberg detection and for the Vendée Globe since several editions. Yeah.
So you help set the ice skate to the ice limit all the way around the course.
Yes, in fact, we use multiple satellite observations to try to detect as much as possible all the iceberg near the trajectories of the boat, and in interaction with race management, we fix the Antarctic exclusion zone just in front of the leader of the race. Yeah.
What technology do you use to do that?
The most suitable technology is the radar technology, because we can see iceberg both during the day, during the night, and through the clouds. So the radar technology is much more efficient than the optical technology that we also use, but we put a large effort on the radar technology. Yeah.
We're going to learn all about it over the course of the programme. We'll join you in just in a few seconds. I do believe we have Ollie here with us on board Toot Gut. Ollie, how are you?
Hello, Andy. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you.
How is St Nicholas Day on board?
Well, I haven't thought too much about St. Nicholas Day, which a lot of kids celebrate in Switzerland today. But no, I'm having a good day. The worst of the wind is over. The wind just dropped. I still have quite a chaotic sea state, but the sun is out, and it's a beautiful day out here.
Hard to believe you're in the Southern Ocean.
Well, right now, no, looking at the sea state, I think it's quite obvious. And 12 hours ago or 8 hours ago was quite obvious. The conditions were quite bad. So it's actually nice to see everything, getting a bit lighter. And I think after the call, I'll go and put my Cheneker back up.
How has it been, the tough conditions? Do you enjoy them?
No, if I'm honest, I don't. I mean, it's natural that we face these conditions. And to be fair, we had about 40 knots of wind, and the wind is one thing, but the sea state is quite something else down here. So you really have to, it's not easy to choose your right sail configuration. You want to have enough sails up to be in charge of the boat, that you can steer through the waves, and not too much, but I had a very conservative sail plan. I had 2 reefs on my J3, but I hit 32 knots last night going down a wave. So it's quite stressful, and it's amazing what these boats can endure without anything breaking. Yeah.
And what's coming up for weather? You're coming into another low pressure soon, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So now I've now got mean wind speeds of about 23 knots, but until 2 hours ago it was 27 knots, and now it should stay in the high teens, low 20s for about 2 days, 3 days. So it's nice, and it's all about trying not to hang on to this back bit of breeze that we still have at back end of this low pressure. At some point we'll probably fall out of it. But it's it's all good. I'm a happy man.
Tell me, so you're one of the skippers who are helping with the science projects. What have you got on board, and what have you deployed so far?
So we deployed an Argo float when I was about, 23 degrees south, I believe. So quite in the middle of the South Atlantic. And we do carry an ocean sensor on the boat, working together with the Swiss Polar Institute and some scientists from the Swiss universities.
But we have with us somebody from CLS who are looking after the satellite imagery and looking after the ice. So maybe you'd like to connect with him and thank him for his great work with Franck.
Yeah. Absolutely, thank you very much. No, I mean we received 2 briefings from them, one in Paris and one in Les Sables d'Olonne. And I mean, it's a great thing having this ice exclusion zone, because it's just one less thing we have to worry about. We can go as far south as the limit, and that's it. So it makes our life simpler and, more importantly, much safer. So big thank you to them.
Yeah.
A few words for Ollie.
Yes, just to mention that, of course, we use the satellite images in front of the leader, but we also take images just to guarantee the security, the safety of the last skippers. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ollie, tell us, is the Vendée Globe playing out as you expected it to do in terms of the conditions and the challenges? I think we've just lost.
Me.
Go ahead, Ollie. I think
you're back again.
Yeah, I'm just asking you whether the race is as you expected.
Well, I think it's exactly what I expected. I mean, the first 2.5 weeks were quite easy, I think, getting down the Atlantic. I mean, we had pretty much champagne sailing conditions. And the moment we stuck our boats south of the Cape of Good Hope, the first low pressure welcomed us. So it's pretty much exactly what I expected. And I feel very privileged and happy to be down here and sail my boat around the 3 capes in the Southern Ocean.
Great stuff. Ollie, fantastic to see you in such great form. We know how tough it was to get on the start line, and great to see you going so well on Tut Gut, alles gut.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Andy. Everyone have a good weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.
So there we go, Ollie here on board Tut Gut, having a nice steady race. I'm going to come back to Thierry. Thierry, just tell us a little bit more about your work then with the Vendée Globe fleet, and how these Argo floats, how do they work, and what do they contribute to our data?
Well, Argo float is first of all an international program, so it's very important for us to monitor and to check how the ocean is changing and is the evolution of the ocean conditions over time, but not only at surface, but from surface to up to 4,000 meters. So I think you could consider an Argo float like a submarine without any propeller. So the equipment is simply going up and down in the water column, and it's measuring temperature, salinity, oxygen content, and all other parameters, depending on what equipment it is. So it's a very important program, and it's international. There are many countries participating to that program. And it's the only way we can get information over the ocean, but consider as a three-dimensional objects.
And what are the trends? What are we learning that the Vendée Globe skippers are contributing to?
What we are learning, first of all, there is 3,600 floats which are popping up to the surface every 10 days. So every 10 days, it provides to the scientific community direct information about the physical parameter of the ocean. So that's really a very important program for that. So the program starts in the early 2000s, so around 2002. So now we've been sampling the ocean for about more than 20 years now.
Thank you very much. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes. Meantime, Franck, tell us about how the technology has advanced in your field and how has it improved for monitoring the icebergs?
Yeah, in fact, since the first edition, when we work on the iceberg detection service in 2008, in fact, we use multiple satellites and we use different technologies. At the beginning, we used only the radar images, but now we are able to combine multiple technologies such as radar altimetry, optical images, and of course satellite radar imagery. And we can see it on the screen. These are two images that were acquired yesterday and the day before, just to check a part of the Indian Ocean beneath south of the Marion and Prince Edward Islands. Yeah.
I think the last time we saw an iceberg on the racecourse was back in 2008 with Sam Davis.
Yes, it was with Sam Davis. It was just between the Crozet Island and Kerguelen Island in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, but this iceberg today would be beneath the Antarctic exclusion zone. Yeah.
Interesting. And of course, obviously, there's a certain pressure, as it were, from the skippers or from the race, because the further south we can race, the shorter the course.
Yes, it's we have to
find a balance.
To find the balance between the safety, but this is always the priority. But the safety should also consider the possibility to go beneath the weather system. So they have to be able to escape. So we have to find the right balance when we fix the Antarctic exclusion zone. Yeah.
Great stuff. Come back to you in just a few seconds. One of the skippers we caught up today with was Kojiro Shiraishi, our Japanese skipper. He's had one or two problems with his rudders, but it was a key moment for him today because he crossed the Cape of Good Hope this morning, I think just before 6 a.m. UTC, and that's an important time for him because the 2016 race he lost the top of his mast and had to retire into Cape Town, and the last race, of course, we all remember that he had his mainsail problems in the South Atlantic, and so it's a key moment for him. He's in good shape, and this is Koji this morning. And do stay to the end, watch it, because it's a fascinating finish to this little catch up with Koji.
Hello, Andy.
How are you?
ご機嫌いかがでしょうか。どうぞ。はい、非常に海面が荒れてますね。風も、30ノットから40ノット。非常にもう何票よといった感じです。どうぞ。
Yeah, the sea state is really rough. I have 4 to 5 meters of wave height, but we really feel like it's we entered the Southern Ocean.
And presumably you're very happy to have passed Cape of Good Hope early this morning.
今朝、朝方希望峰を無事越えましたけど、その点はいかがでしょうか。どうぞ。
はい、朝方希望峰を越えました。まあ一つの筋目ですね。これから次のステージ、サザンオーシャンステージに入っていきますので、とにかく船を壊さないで、このステージを抜けたいなと思ってます。どうぞ。
It's a big first stage that I was able to pass. The next stage is the Southern Ocean. I hope I'm not going to break too many things in this second stage, but yeah, we're sailing cautiously.
And you've passed the two places that you had problems before in the last two Vendée Globes with the mainsail and the mast.
前回も前々回も、セールのトラブル、そして、その前は、ディスマストっていうのがあったと思うんですけど、これで無事越えられたっていうのは、いかがでしょうか。
はい、そうですね。前回も前々回もここまで多くのトラブルに見舞われたんですけども、 今回はですね、スキッパーもね、健康で、船も素晴らしいです。前回ね、水が入ってきて大変だったんですけども、チームがよくステージをしてくれて、素晴らしい状態でこのサザンオーシャンステージに入れたってことは、とってもね素晴らしいことだと思います。どうぞ。
Yeah, you mentioned there was big troubles in my past Vendée Globes right around here, but for this Vendée Globe, the skipper is doing well, the boat is doing well, but this is all thanks to the team who worked really hard to have a really good boat and a prepared boat. So thank you for the team.
Tell us, you deployed your Argo float a while ago. Can you just tell us how important that is to you as a skipper?
そして先週アルゴの、気象部位を、白石さんは投下しましたけど、その、気象部位を、投下すること、白石さんにとっては、どういう意味合いなんでしょうか。どうぞ。
はい、昨日ね無事に気象部位アルゴを落とすことができましてよかったと思います。前回ね、別の、気象部位を投下しました。我々レースはねとても大切なんですけども、もう一つ我々スキッパーとしてせっかくね世界の海を見てきたのでメッセンジャーとしていろんなことがね世界に発信できると思うんですね。だから海の現状をこの目で見てそしてこの体験を世界の人に知ってもらうということはスキッパーにとって、すごく大切なことだと思ってます。どうぞ。
Yeah, so I was able to deploy the Argo buoy. The last Vendée, I was able to deploy the drifting buoy. For me, racing is, and for all of us skippers, deploying buoys and doing races is really important, but doing things for science is even more important. We're the ocean messengers, and be able to show the sea state and do research about our oceans is a very important thing to do as skippers.
Fantastic. Now I believe, Koji, you've been having some problems with your rudders.
そして朝方ラダーのトラブルがあったとお聞きしましたけど、その点はいかがでしょうか。どうぞ。
はい、細かなトラブル、いくつもあるんですけども、全部ね、修理できたり、対策ができているので、良かったです。特に大きなトラブルはないので、それはとても本当にチームに感謝してます。どうぞ。
Yeah, of course. I had a little trouble with the rudders this morning, and I have few small troubles every day, but no major troubles and on the boat. And this is really thanks to all the team who prepared this boat very well.
Fantastic. Koji, great to see you. Great to see you with a big smile. And we'll see you in a few days. All the best.
はい、白石さん、ここまでありがとうございました。笑顔。
What's going on?
Okay, he just broached.
You'll just watch, obviously the camera angle stays the same, so you immediately see the boat is up on its side. Koji starts to sort things out. And thankfully we can report everything was okay, but absolutely amazing to see the boat broach during our video call this morning. So that's, I say, I can just confirm that everything was okay a few minutes later, but some nervous moments for us, obviously, watching this happening live. And it was just a big gust to believe. But such is the nature of the weather in the Southern Ocean, the challenges for the skippers. And Koji, of course, super experienced. So let's have a look at the weather as of today. So still this fantastically exciting situation with this low pressure system for the leaders, in particular Charlie Dallin and Sebastian Simon. And we look at the animation, we can see that Charlie's still in the managing to hold off on the front edge of the low pressure system. Meantime, Sebastian Simon has dropped back and he's now coming or on the front of the low. Now the key thing here is we see, because he's in the northwesterly breeze, he manages to come up and stay on the same jibe, whereas Sebastian Simon behind has to start making multiple jibes as he comes up. Approaching Cape Lewin probably on a Sunday, Monday. In the meantime, behind we see that Thomas Riong and Charal have to converge back down to the southwest. They're into a little bit of a ridge, and then the boats behind us, Sam Goodchild and Yannick Bestaven, compressing up quite nicely because they stayed with the breeze. So to say, Charlie Dallin then probably looking at a record into Cape Lewin. This is a situation for the big picture generally. They say there's Charlie, Sebastian Simon, and the boats up in the north, Thomas Riong and Johan Richomme. And as I said, the boats up in the high pressure system there, Charal now getting stuck and having to come down. So that's the general situation, giving them a bit more of a view. In the meantime, looking at the situation for the boats who have just passed Cape of Good Hope, or just to the east of it. The key thing for them is positioning themselves in the stronger positive flow for the Cap Agulhas current. Now at the moment they've got quite strong winds, 40 to 45 knots, but as the breeze moves around to the southwest, they'll have a much better angle and will be able to go faster. So that's the situation this Friday. Interesting then, going back to Thierry. Thierry, tell us, we have 25 skippers volunteered this time. What's the next stage for the Vendée Globe and for yourselves in terms of the future editions? What more could we do?
Well, I mean, the renewal of the Argo floats is very important because the equipment lasts for 4 to 7 years, depending on the equipment. So it's very important to be able to deploy equipment. So it's great that we have some volunteer boats for doing that. And we have also some underway measurements going on a couple of boats. It's sort of providing high quality and density informations about temperature and salinity, and sometimes CO2 content as well on the path of the boats. So it's very important to get this data, to process the data, and to use the data for publishing results and monitoring the global warming.
Thank you so much. Hopefully you can join us again at some point over the course of the race, but thank you for your work and thank you for being with us. Now then, St. Nicholas Day, Boris Herrmann did take a few moments to celebrate. We know that he sent some images in, but it's still, he's very close to the Crozet Islands as well, and I think he was trying to catch up with the island base on VHF, and this is Boris today.
Hi, good morning. That's what it looks like here. It's not too rough, a bit bouncy. We're going 27 knots at best, and now we have a bit more wind. It's a bit unstable still. No, not too unstable. Actually, there's nothing to complain. All good. We're going east. We're passing the Crozet Island. And not much time from now. Will made me in preparation these nice dots on the chart for stuff to look out for. And if I look, this is 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And I will call to try them on the VHF. I don't know what they are called, but I will just call it Crozet Base. There should be a few scientists on the island. Water temperature 7 degrees. We are super cold at night, and I have lots of layers. I was a bit cold. I will see if my other sleeping bag is a bit bigger, thicker. And happy Nikolaus to everyone. I got little gifts from my wife, and yeah, Zimtstern. Don't know what that's in English. And then I have to do the job on the J2 in the front again. Don't know when I'm gonna do that. It's gonna cost me a bit, but for now I'm going nicely on J3. Just 27 knots there. 28, 29. Woohoo! I was a little lull this morning, and I cheated on and it stayed on these sails. It was only for an hour, and yeah, I got pretty well through the night like this. Pretty even speed with Justine, I think. She's on bigger sails, I think. All good. Friday. Have a good day at the office.
Have a good day at the office from Boris there. Frank, what's the trends that we've seen? Because obviously we've been involved with the Vendée Globe since 2008. What's the trends in terms of the ice flows?
Well, in fact,
what should we be worried about?
Yeah, it's always difficult to establish a trend with this short period. But if we remember, in 2008, we had 3 giant icebergs in each of the ocean, and each of these giant icebergs break up into multiple pieces. This year, we only have one very big iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean, but in fact, each winter is different. We have, of course, we have common trends, but each winter is different. And in terms of global warming, it's always difficult to establish a link. But what is expected by the scientific literature that the ice shelves around Antarctica could break up and then free the flow of glaciers from the Antarctica into the ocean, and then we could have more icebergs in several tens of years. Yeah.
Very worrying.
Yeah.
Thank you. So before we look at the ranking, let's have a quick look at Sam Davis. Sam was experiencing the Southern Ocean as it usually is. And the standings equally exciting today as Charlie Dallon's moving ever further ahead of Sebastian Simon in particular. We're seeing him now 200 miles ahead on the rankings as of midday. Johan Richtholm now 500 miles behind, so that's approximately 24 hours in today's money, the speeds the boats are doing just now. Correspondingly, looking at Jeremy Bayou now 800 miles behind, so that's a couple of days in basic terms. But looking down the rankings, Sam Goodchild still pretty solid in 7th, but this little group compacting quite nicely to ensure they continue to have a great race. Justine Metro is very good in 10th, Boris Herrmann in 11th, Clarice Kramer, Sam Davis, all quite close together in this nice pack. Pip Heer up in 16th now on Medallia, Isabel Joshka 20th, Alan Rura 22nd, Giancarlo Pedozzi 28th, Kojiro Shiraishi, who we spoke to today, in 29th. Conrad Coleman's had a few problems with overnight, so hopefully we'll catch up with that a little bit during the day. But he's in 30th. Oliver Heer, who we're speaking today, in 33rd. Dennis van Veenberg and 36th. Jin Kun Chu, 37th. And Sabi in 38th. So that's our rankings at midday today. So Frank, I mean, you're a race fan as well, are you?
Yeah, sure.
Who's your favourite?
Charlie Dallon, of course.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, because I know very well his team manager, Jean-Luc Nelias. And,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Good. He's going well, isn't he?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And also thank you from all the skippers for your work and from the race.
Okay.
Fantastic work.
Thank you very much.
So then that's it for today. Tomorrow my guests will be Pete Goss, the legend of the race, and he will be with us. Hopefully we're going to catch up with Pip here. And of course it's Friday, we're going into the weekend, and do join us once again tomorrow for our Vendée Globe live show here in Les Sables d'Olonne. See you then.
L'état de la mer.